At this point, you're probably wondering what in the heck I'm doing, and I don't blame you. Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and I may be the world's worst gardener. I plant something every year, but I would honestly say I've only had 2 actual successful gardens in the last 15 years. And this year's garden was a complete disaster. I basically yielded nothing out of it. But I have a neighbor just a few houses down who has a phenomenal garden that is beautiful. And right now, I'm getting ready to plant a pumpkin patch, which he also has, and I'm gonna try to do a fall garden, which I've never tried before, because I'm just so frustrated that I haven't grown anything yet. So I'm gonna go down to my neighbor's house, we're gonna show you his garden, and I'm gonna get some tips on how I can do a better job. I think this, wait till you see his garden, it's fantastic. All right, I'm out here with my neighbor Steve, and we're gonna take a walk around his garden, and then I've got some questions for you about how you keep it looking this nice. But first, if you don't mind, I'd just like to see it all.
Okay, let's go.
Now, I see you've only got a few raised beds. Is that because of you just haven't built more? Or is certain things you prefer to grow raised?
I just started them about 4 or 5 years ago. This is all I had, the little excess lumber. So I built the 3. And what I do early in the spring, I'll plant lettuce and radishes in this one, onions and green onions in that one, and I planted cabbage in that one, because they're all early growers.
And so, what kind of a soil mix did you put in your beds?
Okay, the soil mix is mostly mushroom compost and cow manure mixed, 1-on-1, and I'll show you the big pile I make. But it's all organic stuff, so it works good for me. And I generally change the beds every other year on the dirt. So, but yeah, it works good.
So this is all tomato plants?
Yeah. Now these are volunteer tomato plants that just came up. I didn't even plant these, so I let them grow.
That's what you call a humble flex when he's like, I didn't even plant these. Plants like my garden so much, they just show up.
That's right. These are planted. I had green onions in this one, and picked all the green onions out, and that's the reason why these are smaller. They're later. These are marigolds. I read an article that you want to plant marigolds around your tomato plants. Why? I don't know. Guess it keeps the bugs and everything, deer away. So I built me a greenhouse, planted some marigold seed. Here they are. So we'll see how it does.
These are huge.
Yeah, these were my early starters. I had cabbage on each end, but these was my early starting tomatoes. So these has been in the ground since 1st of April.
Have you already been getting tomatoes off of them, or these green ones are your first?
Yeah, these are my first. Those are my first. So
all at once, you're gonna have more than you know what to do with.
Exactly,
I think.
I will. I'll be able to share with my neighbor. This outside row are green onions. These are Vidalias here. Those back there are just white Texas sweet onions. And then in the fall I'll pick them and hang them in the garage, and we have onions all winter long. So of course this row here, tomatoes, they're just loaded with small tomatoes right now. I planted them like middle of April. Of course this row here is my pepper plants. These are green peppers, mango, I call them mango peppers. Back there are sweet banana peppers. And then I got some jalapenos mixed in somewhere in there. That's the 3rd, 4th one there. I just planted a couple, 3 jalapenos. The next row here you're looking at is my cucumbers. I picked cucumbers this morning. I picked 3 real nice cucumbers. And I probably got a lot more if I get in there and really dig. But I trellis my cucumbers. As you can see, they grow pretty fast and cover a lot of area. So
Those are just some gorgeous plants
Yeah.
right there.
what I did, I planted them in hills, but I used my organic composter. I mix up and put down and made the hills with it. And boy, they took off real. And then the other two down there, I don't know if you can see them from here, but they're my zucchini squash. I picked 3 nice zucchinis this morning. They're all going to be coming on next week. I'll be picking a bushel of them.
Mhm.
Of course, my corn's just now starting to tossle. I planted 7 rows. Last year was a very terrible year for a garden. It was hot and dry. I tried to water, but the heat. I think we put up, not what I tell you, 97 ears of corn last year. The year before that, we put up 407. So this year, I'm hoping if I can keep the coons out before I pick them, it's looking good. So hopefully we'll get a good harvest out of the corn this year. This is my greenhouse I just built this spring. Yeah, temperature in here is about 95. By the afternoon, it'll be 110. It gets hot in here. That's the reason I'll take a lot of this out. Let's set it out.
So what is this? It's just a fan?
Yeah, I just fan keep the air circulating. I've got an exhaust fan up here, automatic vent opening here. That's set at 80 degrees. That's set at 80 degrees. So when it gets in here, it kicks on.
Okay.
And then down under here, I dug down about a foot below ground level when I built this. Then I put in all my compost, manure, and my mushroom compost. And I just wanted to see what grew. I planted some onions and carrots and radishes. Lettuce over here. I've already eaten all my lettuce. So I think this fall I can grow some veggies in here.
I've never grown pumpkins before, but they spread wide like a watermelon or something, right? And
Yeah.
then are you going to get quite a few per plant, or?
I'll probably get about 20 pumpkins per plant or 30.
Oh, wow.
When they really take off and go. Right now you see them, they're just now starting. But here in another probably a month and a half, I won't be able to till down through them.
Yeah, so you left these wide enough that you can drag your tractor through it until they start to spread.
Yeah, keep the weeds out, and once they start spreading, then I'll bring my little tiller out, my walk behind, and do what I can to keep the weeds out, and then eventually it'll all grow in and it'll be nothing but just plants out there.
How many years have you been doing these?
This is my 3rd year on pumpkins. Yeah. My first year of pumpkins, we picked probably 200. And the second year, last year, was hot, dry summer, and I think I got maybe 20.
All right, fantastic looking garden. Now, what kind of tips would you have for me? I guess first we'll start with the soil amendments. What do you do to keep your soil, rich enough to produce like this?
Well, in the spring, I generally start in March. I'll go down and get a load of mushroom compost, a load of cow manure, good barnyard cow manure. I'll mix that all together, and I'll spread it on the top, till that all in, and then let it set till mid-April when I start planting. Then I'll do the same thing again. Bring in some more mushroom and more cow manure and put on there. My pile out there that I mix, it's a 1-to-1 mix, and it'll last me all summer long. But that's how I generally do it. And then I don't fertilize. Everything's organic, so I don't buy any fertilizer and put on.
And so I think one of my problems is I go out and I till an area that has grass on it, and then before my plants are up, it's already, I can't even find necessarily where the plants were at because the grass comes back in so quick.
Yeah.
Is there a trick to get around that, or is it because you
till it good? You may till it and still have all your grass roots at the top. I would wait maybe a week or so, then go back and till it again. Chop that all up a lot finer. That'll keep them out. But then, you gotta go in with your tiller. If you got a little cultivator like mine or a walk behind to keep the weeds out. It's a lot of work.
So the only answer is hard work on that.
Work.
What I've been thinking about doing for next year's garden is plowing it in the fall and flipping that dirt over so it'll have better luck.
Exactly. That'll work great. Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you use this straw to hold moisture
Yeah,
in?
I just mulch them, mulch all the tomatoes, all the pepper plants. Yeah, mainly just to keep all the moisture in through the summer. You can see the wheat coming out, but it'll turn brown and you won't see it. But, keeps the weeds, a lot of the weeds out. Yeah, it keeps the moisture in, and that's through the summer. You know, you have to water probably if we don't get the rains, you got to water at least once a week.
And then you set your rows up based on the fact that you've got a tiller that can fit between them?
Right. 24 inches. My tiller is 21 inches wide, so I allow 1.5 inches, 2 inches, how I set my rows up. And I till through the corn until it gets so big I can't walk through it like it is now. So, but the key to a garden is keeping the weeds out. That's the big key. Because if you don't, they'll overtake everything. And
all right. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking time to show us your garden.
not a problem.
At this point, you're probably wondering what in the heck I'm doing, and I don't blame you. The reason I've done this checkerboard pattern of tilling is I'm trying to visualize and set up my spacing for where the hills are going to be in a way that I can drive my tiller in between the hills until the plants bush out, because that's what Steve did, and it looks like it works well. So I'm going to repeat his system. Now I am going to till every bit of this. In fact, I'm going to go over it like 3 more times. But I wanted to lay out this spacing. So I'm going to put some marks on the outside of this to kind of tell me what that spacing is like. And then whenever I'm done, I think it's going to work pretty well. At this point, I've been over everything twice. My plan is to go over it 4 times. So now I'm gonna make passes all the way across the short direction. Then as I make my passes long way, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my topsoil that are gonna be used for the mounds. That way I'm not tracking across it after the final tilling. I've got 4 packs of pumpkin seeds here. I have a feeling that's not going to be enough. I made this a little bigger than I was planning. This one says jack-o'-lantern. This one says small sugar. And these 2 packs say spooky on them. So I'm going to put all these seeds in, then hopefully I can get my tiller between the rows. I know I can get my tiller between the rows this way. Some spots it's maybe not going to fit the other way. But we'll see. Okay, that was good news. I had 4 seeds left using 3 packets, and I had 4 packets. So, worked out great. Let's see how the tiller fits in here. Well, I don't know how well you could see that, but on the first 2 hills coming this way, the tiller was tearing up the hill that I just made. And I was afraid of that. Once I saw it, looked down it, I said, that tiller's not gonna fit there. The tires fit in between the hills, but the tiller did not. So, next time if I was doing this again, I'd make just a little bit wider this direction. But I'll just have to do a little bit of hoeing this way, but I can do the 2 ends, and then all the passes this way. There's just the 3 in between spots that I couldn't do. So really, this will still be low maintenance relatively until the plants start to bush out. But I really hope this is successful. I really want to grow something and follow through with it correctly. I'm also going to try to plant some fall crops, but I don't know much about that. I'm going to do my research. I forgot to ask Steve and see if we can plant something that is a short season or does well in the fall. Anyway, I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.